Welcome to the March Hoboken Board of Education meeting. We have a great meeting tonight, so I encourage you all to stay as long as possible. In addition to our students, who we recognize monthly, we'll be celebrating our amazing Teachers of the Year and our Educational Service Professionals of the Year. With that, Mr. Bolden, can you please read the statement of compliance?
Sure. This meeting is being held in conformity with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 1046, ed sequence. Proper public notice of the meeting was published in the local papers on March 9th, 2019. If any board member or member of the public in attendance believes that the meeting is in violation of the Open Public Meetings Act, the Hoboken Board of Education requests that they make a statement at this time. The board wishes to make those in attendance aware that this meeting is being recorded on video and will be broadcast by the board at a later date on cable TV channel 77 and Files channel 46. The full meeting recording will also be made available on board docs, which can be accessed through the district homepage. The Hoboken Board of Education is committed to preserving the decorum of the public process and is mindful that we live in the electronic age of computers, cell phones, and other electronic communications devices. Nevertheless, we respectfully request that all meeting participants kindly silence their electronic devices during the course of the meeting, and if the use of the device is necessary, we ask that you please leave the meeting room if you need to conduct personal business.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have the roll call, please?
Absolutely. Ms. Catamatori.
Here.
Ms. Delara.
Here.
Mr. Delatorre. Ms. Evans.
Here.
Ms. Kana.
Here.
Mr. Klupfel.
Here.
Ms. McGuirk.
Here.
Ms. Takirian.
Here.
And Ms. Angley.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, I am first going to turn the meeting over to Dr. Johnson.
Good evening. Tonight we're going to once again recognize our Students of the Month. It's a highlight at each one of our Board of Education meetings. But in addition, we're also going to be honoring amazing educators and passionate educational service providers. You are going to hear about each of them as our administrators proudly speak of their contributions, their talents, and their commitment to the district. But before we do that, I would like to do a short superintendent's report. I'd like to report out once again on a very important topic for the Hoboken Public Schools. Tonight is certainly fitting since none of this would be possible without our past and present teaching and support staff, administrators, Board of Education, and families. The New Jersey Department of Education monitors school districts with a tool known as QSAC. School districts are monitored in the following 5 areas: personnel, governance, fiscal management, operations, and in instruction and program. QSAC is a fairly intensive process that requires a score of 80 or above in each category in order to receive the New Jersey Department of Education's distinction of high performing. Dating back to 2008, the Hoboken Public School District had only passed QSAC in 2 categories, in operations and in personnel, and during that year, the district earned a score of 33 in governance, 41 in fiscal management, and a 34 in instruction and program. However, I would like to make a correction. At the last Board of Education meeting, I had reported that the district had not yet earned a score of 80 in the area of instruction and program until this time. However, that is actually not correct. In April of 2010, the district was notified that they had scored an 87 in the area of instruction and program during its April interim review. That score was raised from the original 34 in 2008. Although it was over 8 years ago, I don't want the work of the individuals involved not to be recognized because that's certainly incredible growth. But to be clear, what the district had not earned since 2008 was the high-performing status by the New Jersey Department of Education. That means a score of 80 or above in all 5 categories, but that is not until now. As I indicated earlier, the district's instruction and program score in 2008 was 34. It had rose to 76 in 2016, and during the last district's interim review, the score rose to a 77. In December of 2018, we went through another interim review by the New Jersey Department of Education just for the category of instruction and program. We were recently notified that we exceeded the score of 80 in that category. We completed that interim review with a score of 86 in governance, 96 in fiscal management, 81 in instruction and program, and scores of 100 in both operations and personnel. As a result, the Hoboken Public School District now joins the ranks as a New Jersey Department of Education high-performing district. I am proud of all of you, all of the work of our staff, our students, our Board of Education, administration, and our families for the commitment that reflects the foundation in which we will only continue to grow. Thank you for your professionalism and your dedication to the district. And since we have a crowd here tonight, we're going to be celebrating this at our next Board of Education meeting. But there's one other point of pride that I could not wait to share with everybody or share with some of you once again. This is related to Project Lead the Way. All 4 of our elementary schools were notified that each earned Project Lead the Way's National School of Distinction Award for STEM education. Not only were we the only district to have every single elementary school awarded, but we are the only elementary schools in New Jersey to earn this distinction. In addition to Project Launch K-5, Connors Elementary School, Wallace Elementary School, and Calabro Elementary School also earned Project Lead the Way's National School of Distinction Award for Grade 6 for Project Gateway. I would like to congratulate all of our STEM Project Lead the Way science teachers for this distinction, Mr. Delafave, and the principals for their commitment to this program. But you'll hear more about this at our next Board of Education meeting. In closing, I extend my heartfelt appreciation and gratitude to everyone who serves the Hoboken Public School District. Every teacher, every support staff member, and every staff member holistically is making the Hoboken Public School District a great place to be educated and to work. Thank you for your service.
Okay, now we'll move into our recognition portion of the meeting, and I will ask Dr. Johnson and Ms. Rodriguez-Gomez to approach the stand.
Good evening, members of our esteemed Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Johnson, administrators, faculty, families, and of course, the most important, the students. Tonight is a very special meeting because we will be celebrating many amazing people. We will begin tonight's events with our powerful principals, as they will celebrate the students who have worked so hard and have done so with such focus that they are here to be recognized for Students of the Month. We will then listen as the selections of both Governor's Teacher of the Year and Governor's Educational Services Provider of the Year are shared. This is a big night, and to the families of those being honored here today, we say welcome and congratulations. We are all very proud. We will have the presentations by school, and so we would ask that all remain at the podium after receiving your certificates so that we can engage in a very quick photo opportunity. So to the podium, I will ask Principal Bartlett from the Brant School to join me as he begins to to share about an old friend of mine, Crochet Chug, who is a second grader.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Rodriguez Gomez. And at this time, I would like to call to the podium Mr. Crochet Chug, the Joseph F. Brandt Elementary School Student of the Month for February 2019. Crochet was nominated by his homeroom teacher, Mrs. Gavin. She said, "Crochet is being highlighted for the month of February for his smarts and great sense of discipline. He self-regulates when it is time to focus on a task or assignment and does so with precision and detail. Crochet is value added to class discussions with his insightful ideas and connections. He is loved by all. He exudes kindness and fun each and every day with his peers. As principal, I can always count on Crochet to be doing his best at all times. He has a great work ethic and an even greater personality that are a shining example of what it means to be a Brandt Bear." Mrs. Gavin went on to say, "Crochet is a joy. He brings a refreshing, lighthearted nature to our class environment. And with that, he is also able to take on assignments and presentations with great poise and rhetoric. I find that this shows a great level of maturity and self-regulation. He is sure to impress throughout his academic journey and beyond. He shares his thoughts during the whole group discussions and models expectations for his peers. Whether he is completing an assignment or lining up to leave the classroom, he is always on point. His well-natured personality allows him to easily get along with his peers and with others in our school. In the past, Crochet earned Student of the Month honors for each of his previous grade levels, kindergarten and first grade, but this is his first appearance before the Board of Education as the overall School Student of the Month. Academically, Crochet is a fan of math, gym, and art class. He enjoys soccer, basketball, dodgeball, and chess. When asked what he wants to be when he grows up, Crochet was quick to respond, an actor. When told he would receive this honor, Crochet said, "It makes me excited and makes me feel welcome and joyful." Congratulations once again, Crochet, the Joseph F. Brandt Student of the Month for February 2019. All right, so now we're going to do some photos, right? Continuing with our Brandt honorees this evening, I would at this time ask Miss Marina Gavin, our Joseph F. Brandt School Teacher of the Year, to join me at the podium. Marina started her career in Hoboken as a kindergarten teacher in 2012. In 2017, as the Brandt School continued its expansion to upper elementary school grade levels, Marina was selected to move to the second grade team. In this position, she has met every challenge and has grown to be one of my most accomplished and seasoned teacher leaders. Her passion for the educational profession, her willingness to collaborate, and her work ethic espousing the practice of doing it the right way until it's done right resonates with those who work most closely with her. Marina credits the love and support of her own teachers as a driving factor for her choosing to be a professional educator. She is the child of parents who immigrated with her to the U.S. when she was just 6 years old. The praise, kindness, and patience shown to her by her teachers is a driving factor behind her striving to be a positive force in the lives of her students. In her classroom, Marina is most proud of fostering independence and accountability. She said, "My teaching style is one that demands students think about themselves as learners and goal setters. I gravitate to assigning projects where students can personalize their content to meet their areas of interest." Her message to other educators is, tell yourself one specific thing that you said or did to empower a child each night before you fall asleep. Self-reflection and meaningful interactions with children is our responsibility. It is a routine that will keep you centered and focused on the sole mission to mold competent and healthy future citizens. Through her commitment to teamwork and communication, Marina helps ensure important initiatives reside in the realm of quality, not mere compliance. She embodies the spirit of a teacher who leads with professional and moral authority. Her expertise and innovation in the classroom is indicative of a dedicated pedagogue. Her commitment to doing the right thing because it is the right thing to do is indicative of her spirit. The members of the second grade team who work closest with Marina on a daily basis said the following, quote, "When I started with the Hoboken Public Schools, I didn't know anyone and was intimidated by the amazing teaching staff. However, I was blessed enough to land a spot in second grade with Marina. She welcomed me with open arms, a warm heart, and a friendly hello each and every morning. Having that welcome every day truly turned whatever kind of day I was having to a loving, kind, positive day. She's always willing to learn more and push herself to try new things. She truly is my hero, being the mom of a toddler and always being ready for the next thing, meeting all challenges with excitement, positive energy, and a willingness to try and be okay with failing at times. She is extremely humble and attributes her humility to being just who she is. And it really is. She brings such great energy to her students and her colleagues." Another colleague went on to say, "Since my first day at Brant, Marina has been extremely welcoming and warm-hearted. She made me feel at home and helped guide me through all of my first-year teacher issues. She is always there for everyone, students included, with words of encouragement and a warm smile that always makes you feel better." And another said, "My very first interaction with Marina was her welcoming me to Brant when I came in August to set up my classroom. It is always intimidating being the new teacher in a new district, wondering what your experience will be like, and she was the first person to welcome me. After meeting her, I had a sense that being on the second grade team with her was going to be one of the highlights of being in Hoboken. Marina has a can-do, positive attitude that influences everyone around her. I love when she sees you're having a rough day or you need a hand, and you find her helping right there beside you, carrying some of the workload. It's the little things she continues to do that have the most impact. She engages her students and colleagues with warmth and with a welcoming spirit creates a culture of building, learning, and growing. She is always looking to try something new or do something different, but is equally comfortable taking a leadership or support role. We work so well together, learning from each other and continually bounce ideas off of each other. Her kindness shines through in all she does with her students and all of the staff. I am grateful to be on her team and to be able to call her my friend. The thoughts and feelings of the Grade 2 team are spot on and echo the sentiments of the entire Joseph F. Brant Elementary School community. We are honored and grateful to have Marina in our school. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Joseph F. Brant School, please join me in congratulating our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Marina Gavin. And continuing our Brant presentations, at this time, I would ask Mrs. Giselle Rodriguez Flora, our Educational Services Professional of the Year for the Brant School, to join me at the podium. Giselle's career began in Jersey City at St. Joseph's School for the Blind as a teaching assistant in September of 1999. From there, she spent 7 years as a head teacher at Bright Beginnings Early Learning Center, also in Jersey City. Her career in Hoboken started in 2007 when she took a role as a member of the preschool intervention and referral team, serving in that role until 2010. Since that time, her skill and expertise have benefited the school district as she serves as one of our pre-K master teachers. In this current role, Giselle has excelled. Her skill set benefits those around her as she visits classrooms and coaches teachers. Her collaboration with team members ensures that our pre-K environments are up to par, and her ability to compile and interpret student data ensures the needs of our youngest learners are being met on a daily basis. Giselle said, "I love having the opportunity to support teachers in reflecting and troubleshooting classroom practice in a manner that is both respectful and beneficial. I place great value in the trust they have bestowed on me and the work they do every day with the district's youngest learners." Giselle credits her work ethic to being the daughter of immigrant parents, both of whom only were in school until high school, but who nonetheless instilled in her a sense of respect and gratitude for the educational opportunities they were not afforded themselves. She is quick to mention that this respect is reflected in the fact that she, as well as all of her siblings, earned college degrees. Giselle understands the impact education can have on a person, It can open doors and change lives. Giselle is also incredibly active in giving back to communities in Jersey City through Black Squad and JRT's Helping Hands organization. As if sharing so much of herself during the workday wasn't enough, she still finds the time in her life outside of school to give back. As principal, I am grateful for Giselle's commitment to our community as a whole. She is always willing to step in and help out during the busiest times of day: arrival, lunch, recess, and dismissal. The connections she's made with the students over the years as they've grown from pre-K to now in some cases third graders are an invaluable resource. One of the most important things to do in this business is account for all of the nuances, the slight differences and tiny preferences each member of the student body might have. Not only does Giselle understand so many of these, she engages students through them, validating many of their thoughts, dreams, hopes, and desires. While I can stand up here and effusively praise her from my point of view as principal, the best way to understand the impact Giselle has had on those around her is through the words of those she works with most closely. I'm delighted to share the following, the words of her colleagues. I've had the pleasure of working collaboratively with Giselle since 2007. In the past 12 years, I've worked with Giselle in two capacities, as both a fellow PERT member and as a master teacher. As a PERT member, Giselle was exceptional at providing teachers with support and thoughtful interventions, pulling from her many years working as a preschool classroom teacher in Jersey City. A few years later, she successfully transitioned to the position of master teacher and has been an immense asset to this team as well. What I admire most about Giselle is how knowledgeable she is about the field of early childhood education and how incredibly humble she has remained regarding her ability and immeasurable experience. Giselle is a valuable ECE member because she is kind, passionate, and dedicated to our program. I've learned so much from her both professionally and personally, and I truly believe that no one is more deserving of this award than she is. Another staff member said, quote, I chose to do an acrostic because Giselle and I had such a fun time together one day thinking of one for another coworker. Giselle is genuine. She is most humble and genuine person I know. She cares so much for everyone that crosses her path. She spreads kindness throughout the community as well as the school. Giselle is inspiring. She is sweet yet assertive. Giselle is exceptional at her job. She has a way of making everyone she knows feel important and special. She builds meaningful relationships with the teachers that she coaches, and therefore she is highly respected. Giselle is extremely knowledgeable within her role as a master teacher. Many of her coworkers often turn to her for guidance and support. Giselle is loving, Giselle leads by example, and Giselle is an excellent friend. She welcomed me from the very beginning. She always makes me feel like I can conquer the world. She supports and empowers all of us, and I am grateful to have her as a coworker and friend. Another member of the ECE team said, Giselle is always willing to lend an extra hand, whether it be to help late students get upstairs or to stay late and help with passport dismissal. Her greatest accomplishment is seen in how polite and considerate her two children are. Her smile is contagious. She starts and finishes each day with a smile, greeting everyone in her path. The teachers she coaches know her as a kind and respectful role model. She is always willing to go into the classroom to model any technique she suggests to teachers. Giselle embodies the social and emotional qualities we teach our students. If you're having a rough day, she will not only lend an ear, but will help you get you back on track with a coffee or a kind gesture. She's an exceptional role model and inspiration to others. She makes a bigger impact on people than she could ever imagine. She is humble and kind and tries to see the very best in every situation. Giselle inspires and shares her sparkle with us. We are truly lucky to work side by side with her every day. She is always willing to lend a helping hand or step in when the burden gets overwhelming. She sees the world through rose-colored glasses and will help you look through those same glasses on some of your toughest days. She's the epitome of one who follows the golden rule. On a daily basis, Giselle emulates humility, compassion, and integrity through her interactions with the children. She meticulously educates the teachers that she supports and the colleagues she collaborates with. Coming in as a master teacher after her, she was and is always a great mentor and takes the time to guide us through. No matter your age, we can all learn something from her. Be kind, be thoughtful, be respectful, but above all, be human. And yet another member of the ECE staff said, Giselle is the perfect blend of intellectual skill and social grace. Her enthusiasm, dedication, loving demeanor, and caring attitude is unparalleled. She spreads words of encouragement everywhere she goes, leaving behind a belief that we too can be an agent of change. Giselle epitomizes all that is great in the world. It's so easy for me to say that her closest colleagues and friends subbed it up better than I ever could. Once again, join me in congratulating Mrs. Giselle Rodriguez Flora, the Joseph F. Brand Elementary School Educational Service Professional of the Year.
Good evening, Hoboken Board of Education, family, staff, and students. At this time, I would like to call up the Calabro School District Student of the Month for February, Mr. Stephen Crespo. Stephen Crespo is a deserving student to be selected as Salvatore R. Calabro Schools District Student of the Month for February. He is a dedicated student in his first grade classroom. He exemplifies honesty, teamwork, and integrity. He takes pride in his work and completes his assignments on time. He is always eager to help his fellow friends and bring a smile to someone's face. Stephen is extremely polite to his peers and his entire school community. Stephen's favorite classes are science, reading, and writing. He loves to spend quality time with his mother, his dad, his 2 dogs, and his bunny. Sometimes he likes to visit his grandparents for fun because they live in the same building. Stephen has a passion for video games, and he loves his Pokemon game on Switch. He aspires to be a soldier in the U.S. Army when he grows up. Stephen is a great representation of a role model student for the Hoboken Public Schools. His first grade teacher quotes, "It is a joy to engage in Stephen's curiosity and appetite for knowledge." Ms. Yu states he is always eager to please his peers and the adults who surround him, and it is a pleasure to have him in the classroom. His kind ways and actions never go unnoticed. It is my honor to present to you Mr. Stephen Crespo from the first grade at Calabro School as District Student of the Month of February. Congratulations, Stephen. At this time, I'd like to call up Saima Farouk, Teacher of the Year at the Calabro School. Good evening, Dr. Johnson, Ms. Rodriguez-Gomez, Board of Education members, staff, students, families, and friends. It is my honor and pleasure to speak on behalf of the many accomplishments of Calabro Schools 2018-2019 Teacher of the Year, Ms. Saima Farouk. I'd like to begin this evening with a quote by David White. "A soul-based workplace asks things of me that I didn't even know I had. It's constantly telling me that I belong to something large in the world." Calabro School is truly a soul-based place because of people like Ms. Saima Farouk. Ms. Farouk is a rare, dynamic educator who contributes to Calabro School in more ways than can be counted. I have been fortunate enough to work alongside Ms. Farouk for the past 6 years in different settings, including Calabro School Improvement Panel, PLCs, School Climate Committee, School Safety Committee, and even a special subject think tank. Over the course of Ms. Farouk's teaching career, her commitment to the education profession and to our school community can be best described as extraordinary. Ms. Farouk is a highly effective rated educator who consistently demonstrates a genuine commitment to the growth of her students in and out of the classroom. Perhaps most inspiring, Ms. Farouk has the mindset of a student and is constantly reflecting on her own teaching and professional development for the betterment of her students. Ms. Farouk is a skilled science, engineering, technology, and math educator who has dedicated her teaching career to the students of Hoboken for over 10 years. She is passionate about making science instruction rigorous, relevant, and lively for her students, many of whom otherwise limited exposure to these academic content area in such great depth. Ms. Farouk is the definition of a lifelong learner, dedicated to the constant improvement of her own instruction and always striving to create a richer, more dynamic experience for her students. Ms. Farouk shared that her very first experience in a classroom was volunteering at a school with 95% immigrant student population. There she witnessed teachers who were not only impacting students' lives academically, but were an invaluable resource to many immigrant parents and their children regarding social and economic challenges. It was as a result of this experience that Ms. Farouk decided to become a teacher. Her goal would be to educate students, become informed citizens, and serve the community by helping the parents, families, and the school community. Ms. Farouk studied English literature and economics at the University of Punjab in Pakistan, emerging from her studies with a Bachelor of Arts. But after her experience inside the classroom, Ms. Farouk was so inspired that she decided, as a working mother of 3, to return to school to obtain her teacher certification. Looking back, she describes those 5 years as a challenging but incredibly empowering and rewarding time in her life. Ms. Farouk's hard work and perseverance paid off, and she received her Bachelor of Arts in Earth Science and Elementary Education from NJCU, graduating magna cum laude. Most recently, Ms. Farouk received her master's degree in Educational Leadership and a supervisor certificate from Montclair State University. In the many years that I've known her, Ms. Farouk has consistently taken on additional leadership roles at Calabro School in an effort to support both colleagues and students. One example of her eagerness to lead our school in a truly innovative direction was during our now annual Diversity Summit. This summit was planned, designed, prepared, and presented by Ms. Farouk for the first time in 2017. Ms. Farouk established our school's Diversity Summit with the intention of celebrating diversity within our school. She created the framework for the summit, generated resources for the staff, and delivered a powerful presentation, concluding with each class showcasing diversity activities, actively engaging in the entire school community. I cannot think of a better way to learn about, promote, and celebrate what makes Calabro so special than the one Ms. Farouk has created. Each and every time I enter Ms. Farouk's classroom, I am in awe of her passion for her subject, her dedication to her students, and her unfailing ability to think outside the box. Ms. Farouk frequently connects her students to the outside world by interacting with scientists and researchers via Skype, making her instruction meaningful and relevant. Because of Ms. Farouk, students have had the unique opportunity to connect with researchers and scientists, conduct interviews, and get inspired by the knowledge and accomplishments of others in the field of science. Through Skype, these guest presenters have interacted with students by showing live specimen, data, and artifacts, bridging her classroom experience to the real world. In the classroom, Ms. Farouk is always researching and implementing new practices and procedures to improve learning outcomes. She uses the rotational center approach in her class, where students rotate between technology, student-centered, independent study, and teacher-led centers. This blended learning approach exposes students to a high level of engagement, one-on-one support for enrichment, and allows them to take control of their own learning. Students are always engaged in science labs by asking questions, creating claims, and providing evidence and reasoning to support those claims. One of our 5th grade students said it best, stating, "Ms. Farouk is like a genius, but the kind of genius that makes you feel smarter. She is always encouraging us and loves seeing us get excited." Ms. Farouk is an extremely talented educator who has served as a true teacher leader for many years now. I am constantly impressed in her ability to lead and motivate our students, families, and work colleagues while concurrently promoting what is best for all students. Ms. Farouk is an asset to our school community and embodies the best type of leadership, one that makes everyone around her better. Ms. Farouk has that unique ability to reach every child and is peerless in her efforts to provide every student with a comprehensive, engaging education. It is clear every day that Ms. Farouk's mission as an educator is to ensure her students' love for learning and believes that his greatest gift you can bring to the classroom. I cordially invite everyone in this room to visit her classroom at Calabro because you will be in awe, just as I am every day. At this time, I am honored to present Ms. Saima Farouk as the Calabro School recipient of Teacher of the Year.
We will now shift a little bit and focus, have the evening put up front the students. And so I will have Dr. Pollins come up, and every principal after her will focus on Student of the Month. Not to say that we're not going to do the rest of it.
At this time, I would like to welcome up to the podium Ziana Crespo. Ms. Gerson has nominated her 6th grade student, Ziana Crespo, for Student of the Month. Ziana embodies all of the characteristics that a 6th grader should possess. Ziana is kind, caring, and a hard worker. She truly knows the definition of perseverance and shows it every day. Recently, Ziana shared her most recent accomplishment of hitting a home run in softball. This is just one example of Ziana persevering until she accomplishes her goal. No matter how hard the task, Ziana keeps working on it until she completes it and she is successful. She never lets anything negatively affect her, and she is consistently assisting her teachers and her classmates. According to Ms. Gerson, Ziana is an asset to our school because she strives to be a role model for our younger students. She shared that school is important because it gives you a chance to accomplish your goals. Our class wants kids in lower grades to look up to us, so we model the right things for them. Every time I see Ziana, she greets me with a big smile and a hello. She even wrote one of the sweetest notes to me that I've ever received as a principal, and I keep it on my desk and even shared it with my own parents. Ziana's hobbies include rock climbing and fencing. Her favorite subject is math. She loves all music and enjoys playing softball and kickball. When she grows up, she wants to become a math teacher. We are so proud of everything that Ziana has worked for this year, and I know she's going to continue to excel in everything that she does. When I think of Ziana, I think of the following quote: "Always believe in you. Listen to your heart, trust in your instincts, and know you can." We know and believe that Ziana can and will always be successful. Congratulations to Ziana, our Student of the Month.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce Saral Kalkarni as the February 2019 Student of the Month for Wallace Elementary School. Saral was nominated by his 2nd grade teacher, Mrs. Mazzone, because he is a good-natured young man who has a thirst for learning and enjoys sharing ideas with his peers. He is a well-mannered, friendly, and admired by his students and teachers alike. Mrs. Mazzone was quoted in saying, "It is a pleasure to observe Saral's enthusiasm in all subjects, and especially when he is engaged in peer group activities. He has an effortless ability to connect and inspire classmates to join together in the activities at hand. He truly shines and presents himself as a leader." As the principal, I appreciate how well-rounded of a person Saral is. He holds himself to high academic standards every day. However, it is his character that helps him stand out. He has a passion for learning that is infectious. I appreciate all that Saral brings to the school community. I'm very proud of you, Saral. Keep up the good work. Saral is always performing at his academic best, continuously achieving the ideals for his grade level, and is in the Gifted and Talented program. Most notably, Saral's best qualities were displayed in his diligently completed presidential research project on Woodrow Wilson. In his presentation, he excitedly shared interesting facts with the class. He discussed how Woodrow Wilson cared about people and protected the country through World War I, and was proud to inform the class how smart Woodrow Wilson was, having graduated from Princeton University and was the governor of New Jersey. Saral is a prime example of a model student who has enthusiasm for learning and is kind-hearted and caring member of Wallace School. Saral's favorite subject is math, because he enjoys doing equations, as well as challenges of word problems. His favorite sport is soccer, and in his leisure time, he is entertained by watching his favorite team, the Red Bulls, on TV. He likes rock and roll music, and his favorite song is everything is awesome. Saral has an interest in art and likes painting and drawing. He often creates pictures at home, and his mom frames his pictures and hangs them around the house. His own personal art gallery. Saral would like to be a soccer player when he grows up. He enjoys kicking and running with the ball. Saral shared his dream with Mrs. Mazzone by saying, "It would be fun to be a soccer player because I can travel around the world." When Saral found out he would be the Student of the Month, he shared a few things that he felt people should know about him. "What I would like everyone to know about me is that I'm Indian American. My favorite thing about my culture is the music and the colorful clothing patterns. My favorite food is naan with sauce, but I also like pasta with butter. I like Wallace School because of all the fun of learning. My favorite thing is being Peace Pal because I like getting the ice cream party. We love that you're a part of the Wallace family. You are an important member of our community. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the February 2019 Wallace Student of the Month. Proud of you, bud.
Good evening. At this time, I would like to call to the podium Hoboken Middle School Student of the Month, Ayanna Ladson. Ayanna Ladson is part of the Integritat House at Hoboken Middle School. She is an 8th grade student, and the teacher recommendation comes on behalf of her teacher, Miss Anderson. Ms. Anderson states, "From the very first day I met Ayanna, she demonstrated her willingness to take intellectual risks as well as go above and beyond the normal classroom expectations and capacity. Her dedication and aptitude for learning immediately made her stand out. Ayanna's personal qualities are just as impressive as her intellectual achievements. She is a well-rounded and disciplined and respectful student with a pleasant personality. She continues to exude positive energy, be a loyal friend, and a positive student. Ayanna sets high standards for herself and fulfills all of her goals and commitments. Most importantly, Ayanna is a kind-hearted individual with a positive attitude." And now for the principal recommendation. This was a shoo-in. It is my immense pleasure to recognize Ayanna Ladson as the Student of the Month for Hoboken Middle School. Ayanna demonstrates an incredible work ethic in each and every content area. She has made high honor roll for each and every marking period this school year. Ayanna greatly enjoys PGP, where she participates in Environmental Crusaders, Makerspace and Genius Hour, and National History Project. During these courses, she enjoys tapping into her creative side through initiatives to make the world a better place, and she is certainly doing just that. For her outstanding efforts in the classroom, Ayanna was awarded the Academic Excellence Award at the 4th Ward Black History Celebration. Ayanna has aspirations to one day study at her mother's alma mater, and mine as well, Montclair State University. She has plans to study business, and one day she would like to open her own hair salon. When asked why, she responded in saying, "Do you see this hair?" We certainly do, and it's amazing. Ayanna went on by saying that she thinks this would be an ideal career path for her because she enjoys problem solving, critical thinking, empowering others to be the best version of themselves. We see this in her each and every day. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm calling up the Hoboken High School Student of the Month, Gia Gianelli Santiago. Great things come in small packages. Do not let her size fool you. Gia is someone who has so many attributes and contributes to the school socially, academically, and artistically. Academically, she has consistently challenged herself in honors and AP coursework, taken the most rigorous courses we offer, and maintains high averages in these classes, which is why her GPA is over a 4.0. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Outside of academics, she is involved in all activities. Most notably is her membership in the National Honor Society, which she was inducted to in the 10th grade. She is also a very active member of the Student Council, Harvard Model Congress, and Model United Nations. She is a Red Wing cheerleader and also plays volleyball. One can wonder how she fits it all in and does so well at everything. And anyone who has heard Gia sing or perform in a theater production will attest to her talent. She has participated in over 5 productions with the theater department, as well as state theater competitions, for which she won in the small musical theater group last year. Mr. Macaulay shared that she is a remarkable, mature individual that always brings an extra talent to my classroom. I feel like I watched her grow up from the many years I would videotape the district musicals, many of which she starred in. It was a joy to have her bring all of those years of theater experience to the video production class and work with the various talented students on their commercial development and production. I am blessed to have Gia as one of my students, and I'm so impressed with the effort she puts into each of our productions. Gia is also a well-rounded student. Academically, she is focused and always excels. Socially, she is an active participant in the school community and always has a positive attitude. Gia is focused on her higher education. She was in my personal finance class, and she really took full advantage of researching the cost of college and the best options for her. Mr. Munoz, who nominated Gia, along with Ms. Martinez, states, she is a leader in and out of the classroom. She has embraced the class of 2019 and the many projects we undertake. She is a student that is everything, involved in everything, and strives to be a leader among her peers. As an advisor, I am elated to have such a strong leadership presence on the class of 2019 council. Going back to the college piece. With all of this, you can imagine the opportunities that she has awaiting her. She has been accepted to Keene University, Pace University, Penn State, College of St. Elizabeth, St. Peter's, NJCU, and I was just informed, Drew and Seton Hall. She has also been offered 2 full rides at St. Elizabeth and NJCU. I asked Gia, she's leaning towards Seton Hall. When notified about the award, Gia said, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." And I say, continue your greatness, Gia. We're extremely proud of you and all the great work you do.
At this time, I would like to invite to the podium the Connors Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Vanessa Ortiz. Our Connors 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Vanessa Ortiz, is the Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Ortiz is an exemplary educator and affects the lives of many students in positive ways. She is a true gift to the field of education and views her work as the essence of her life's purpose. She is a natural educator born with the resilience to get through any obstacle, insights to be an effective problem solver, and the ability to help others bring their own talents to the surface. The breadth of knowledge possessed by Mrs. Ortiz relative to state curriculum, differentiated instruction, and various educational processes is formidable. She boasts a litany of accomplishments relative to demonstrating effectiveness in motivating students and teachers to reach high standards of achievement. Mrs. Ortiz utilizes a variety of research-based strategies to enhance and stimulate the cognitive processes required through state curriculum and standards. Though Mrs. Ortiz is exceptionally adept at forging critical thinking skills via cognitive measures, her unique gift is in her ability to captivate a diverse population of students through effective means. Mrs. Ortiz is very dedicated to her students. For example, she created a complete scope and sequence for her leave replacement to follow as a guide before her scheduled maternity leave. She wanted to ensure that her students didn't miss a beat in her absence. She has always been flexible and willing to lend a helping hand to her colleagues. Mrs. Ortiz is dedicated to the well-being of our entire school community and provides supports to students, staff, and parents. She is an integral part of our school family. For this and all the aforementioned reasons, I am pleased to present to you Mrs. Ortiz, our Teacher of the Year. Are we doing a picture? Okay. Put you in the middle? Okay. Thank you. Okay. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium our Educational Services Professional of the Year, Ms. Kristen Bariloff. Ms. Kristen Bariloff is the Educational Services Professional of the Year for Connors Elementary School. Ms. Bariloff is a highly accomplished school psychologist with over 14 years of experience in the New York and New Jersey public school systems. She is an energetic and passionate professional with a proven track record of fostering social and emotional growth in children and adolescents, while maximizing the learning potential of each unique individual. She is an amazing asset to our school and is always working in support of the well-being of students and staff. As our school psychologist, she is well-versed in her craft and provides staff with a significant level of knowledge about the psychological makeup of a child and interventions and supports that can be put into place for a successful student. She makes herself available to parents and organizations before and after school in an effort to support students and parents. Ms. Bariloff works well independently and as part of the support services team that is comprised of the Dean of Students and Programs, social worker, and principal to develop and implement programs to foster health and wellness. Ms. Bariloff has talents beyond the scope of her work as a school psychologist and is also a yoga instructor. She is our resident Zen master and has led our students, staff, and parents through yoga poses and mindful meditation. She marries her practice of psychology with her love of yoga and mindfulness to support our students through challenging situations. She plays a large part in our Girls Empowerment Group by organizing social groups and bringing in resources and guest speakers to support our students as they develop socially and emotionally. I admire Ms. Bariloff's work ethic, her dedication to our school community, and her ability to think outside of the box. For all the aforementioned reasons, Ms. Kristen Bariloff has been selected as the Educational Services Professional of the Year for Connors School.
Good evening. It is an honor to be before you tonight on behalf of Mr. Jose Manuel Fernandez, the Wallace Elementary School Teacher of the Year for 2018-19. Mr. Fernandez embodies the true mix of professionalism and the essential nurturing required to be an outstanding educator. Mr. Fernandez comes to our district by way of New Jersey City University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in science and later a master's degree in early childhood education and teacher of students with disabilities. It should also be noted that Manny is currently enrolled in Montclair State University's Educational Leadership Program, where he will receive his second master's. Mr. Fernandez's biggest influences in his life are his mother and his father. They inspired him to become an educator. His mother was a Columbia University graduate who taught public school science for over 33 years. His father was an immigrant from Latin America, a baker by trade. His parents instilled in him the values of hard work, love, fortitude, empathy, selflessness, and a passion for learning new things and passing it on to others. These are not only the values that guide him as an educator, but as a person. Mr. Fernandez recently told me, "Each day I model these values for my students so that they can overcome any challenge and achieve success in not only their personal, but social, emotional, and academic life." When I had a chance to sit and discuss this honor with Manny, he at first credited his coworkers, as only Manny would do, by saying, "It is an honor just to be nominated by my peers, because I feel that is whom I've learned the most from." He then continued humbly, "What I have achieved as an educator involves me working with my students and their families on a daily basis as we observe the growth and achievements they accomplish in my class. As a self-contained special education teacher, I work with the most fragile and dedicated students in our care. Delicate students in our care. They require the most empathy, advocacy, care, patience, and love that I can provide. In the past, I've spoken with parents who thought that their child was unteachable. My greatest accomplishments are when I help the students and families explore who their child is and demonstrate that what their child can achieve cannot be defined by a diagnosis. This should be every special education teacher's motto and creed." Now, for those of us who know Manny, we know his fun side. We know he loves to read comics. He is a really good guitarist, and he's a huge fan of Star Wars, the Avengers, and anything action-based for the big kid who lives inside of him. Just entering his classroom, you get that feel whenever you enter a room of someone dedicated to children and all that they love. But what you may not know is that Manny dedicates a lot of his time to not only the children in our Wallace School community, but also the children at Hoboken University Medical Center as well. Without doubt, Mr. Fernandez is a strength to our school community and our community in general. It is with great pride that I congratulate and present to you Mr. Jose Manuel Fernandez, the 2018-19 Teacher of the Year for the Wallace Elementary School. Good evening once again. It is an honor to be here tonight before you on behalf of Ms. Dawn Paguero, the Wallace Elementary School Educational Service Professional of the Year for 2018-19. I have known Ms. Paguero for over 30 years, and there is no way to overstate the importance that this one person has on a daily basis in the Wallace Elementary community. She is a dedicated professional, an amazing paraprofessional, and a warm and loving human being. Ms. Paguero is born and raised and still resides here in Hoboken. She is the product of St. Anthony's High School, where she graduated third in her class and received the distinguished honor of Scholar Athlete Award. She played basketball for St. Anthony's, and as Dawn does everything, she did it well. She played varsity basketball for 4 years and was named All-County for 3 and All-State for 2 of those years. Her dedication and leadership would translate almost immediately as an educator and a coach. Dawn started working for the Hoboken Board of Education in 1993. She immediately started to impact students as a paraprofessional and as a coach for our Lady Red Wings basketball and softball teams. Ms. Paguero has always been there for everyone in need of assistance and support. For example, she was also a senior class advisor for the classes of 2001 and 2004. But she didn't stop there. She also volunteered to coach the sports for the city's recreation department as well. In 2009, Ms. Peguero was transferred to Wallace as a one-on-one aide for a few years before joining our ABA program. Here, I have seen Dawn assist our most fragile students when they are at their most vulnerable. Without a doubt, her presence at Wallace is felt by those who she specifically provides service. Her skill set is unmatched. When Ms. Peguero was told she was receiving this award, she cried. Later, she would go on to express, "I am beyond honored, and it was something I never expected to receive. I would like to credit the staff and the administration for all their support. Without them, none of this would ever be possible." She went on to credit her coworkers, her girls as she would refer to them, in ABA department and say, "I love them, and they make every day coming to work a joy." Dawn has been a member of our school family for over 2.5 decades. She is an integral part of our school community, the glue that helps hold us all together. Whether it is volunteering time or going above and beyond for our community's children, Wallace School is grateful to call this outstanding educator our own. It is my honor to present to you the Wallace Educational Service Professional of the Year for 2018-19, Ms. Dawn Peguero.
Good evening. At this time, I would like to call the Hoboken Middle School Teacher of the Year to the stage, Ms. Stephanie Falcone. It is my distinct pleasure to recognize Ms. Stephanie Falcone as the 2018-2019 Governor's Teacher of the Year for Hoboken Middle School. In the field of education, we are presented the opportunity to change lives on a daily basis. At Hoboken Middle School, we have an incredibly dedicated and knowledgeable team. However, since day one, Ms. Falcone has gone above and beyond to serve as a genuine agent of change for our school community. Ms. Falcone demonstrates a profound ability to connect with her students, and in result, they become successful learners. Ms. Falcone's students know that she wholeheartedly cares for them, both inside and outside the classroom. She delivers a personalized approach to learning that few are able to. Ms. Falcone assists students in making connections between content teachings and their personal interests. This method capitalizes on teachable moments and brings relevance to the learning experience. Ms. Falcone is in constant search of finding strategies and interventions that make learning authentic. On any given day, her students can tell you exactly why they are doing what they are doing, and that's what learning is all about. It has been a pleasure witnessing her ability to transform students into authors, geographers, and avid readers. Ms. Falcone also knows the importance of educating the whole child. Through a holistic approach, she is able to educate students of all different learning styles. In addition to humanities, Ms. Falcone also teaches philosophy and poetry slam, as well as photography and action during our personal growth period, PGP. It has been amazing seeing the experiential learning that has taken place in her classroom and that she passionately facilitates each and every day through her courses. Students commonly refer to these classes with her as the highlight of their day. Upon entry to her classroom, it will become incredibly evident that Ms. Falcone understands that no two students are alike. Because of this, her instruction encompasses a vast array of student choice. Her classwork, her homework, and her assessments are offered in a way that taps into each and every one of her students' full potential. If I could go back in time as a student, I would hope to have a teacher just like Ms. Falcone. For this reason, I am happy that our students have the privilege of learning from her on a daily basis and that she is a representative of Hoboken Middle School. Nobody is more deserving of this incredible honor than Ms. Falcone. Congratulations on this major milestone. I know that you will continue to impact the lives of students for years to come. Congratulations. Thank you and congratulations again. At this time, I'm pleased to announce and introduce our ESP of the Year, Ms. Loretto Martinez. I am proud to honor Ms. Loretto Martinez as the ESP of the Year for Hoboken Middle School. In order to fully understand the impact that a member of the Child Study Team has, it's imperative to understand the role within their school. The Child Study Team, also known as the CST, is a multidisciplinary group of professionals that provide students, parents, and teachers with a variety of learning-related services each and every day. These services include consultative, evaluative, and prescriptive services for students who are experiencing academic difficulties. When I first met Ms. Martinez in September 2018, it was immediately apparent that she would do anything in her power to help students meet their full academic potential. Ms. Martinez has a terrific ability to form genuine relationships with students and their families. This rapport has been established in result to her effective methods of communication and tireless efforts towards bridging the gap between home and school. Students under her jurisdiction made tremendous progress this school year so far, and we know that this will continue. I believe much of this has to do with the shift in mindset that Hoboken Middle School brings to education. Ms. Martinez and our staff have done an incredible job celebrating student achievement, no matter how large or small the accomplishment. When students experience success, it motivates them to work harder. Ms. Martinez constantly provides our students with positive praise and makes calls home to highlight their work. Ms. Martinez exemplifies what it means to be a dedicated child study team member and school psychologist. She plays an intricate role in our school's success, and I look forward to many years of this continued service. Congratulations, well deserved.
Shock, and I was told they couldn't hear me in the back. That never, ever happens, so I will speak up. At this time, I ask Mr. William Apicella, Hoboken High School's Teacher of the Year, to come on up. We made it, we're here. It is hard to believe that it has taken this long for an exemplar teacher like Mr. Apicella to earn this honor. I am very proud to be standing alongside him. Mr. Apicella has been a dedicated special education teacher in the Hoboken School District for 36 years. 3.5 centuries of experience, and he is still teaching as if it is his first day. His ability to be flexible and willing to adjust not only curriculum and technological advances, but also to the ever-changing student diversity and socioeconomic status has given him his staying power. In 1978, Mr. Apicella graduated Rider College with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. In 1979, he attended St. Peter's University and graduated with his elementary education degree. And in 1983, he graduated NJCU with his Teacher of Handicap certification. He came to us in September 1983 as a middle school self-contained classroom teacher at Demarest School. right here. In 1998, he spent 2 years as an inclusion teacher at Brant Middle School. And as luck would have it, Mr. Apicella came to Hoboken High School in 2000 as a special education teacher with a concentration in language arts. For those of us been fortunate to observe Mr. Apicella in the classroom, he is a dynamic teacher who gets all his students engaged in read out louds and writing tasks. He hooks his students with Edgar Allan Poe. Anytime I visit when he is reading a piece by Poe, the questions and student engagement is amazing. I believe it is his enthusiasm that is contagious, and students just dive into the work because he makes it so relevant. For students who are only writing a sentence or two in September, he has them writing 4 to 5 paragraph essays by June. It is his belief in his students' abilities and his organized lesson planning that allows for this to take place. With his experience, he understands how to motivate his class. He takes the time to understand each student that he serves, recognizes their good days and bad days, when to push and when to give a hug. There are a few teachers left with the years of experience like Mr. Apicella. The changing tides of education have proved challenging to many, but Mr. Apicella has risen to the occasion. SGOs, benchmark data, Edmentum, writing tasks, PARC, EdSite. He has met each and every one of these challenges head-on and recognizes the part all these things play in the education and preparing students. Mr. Apicella has also been a major part of our junior book publishing. As everyone knows, the 11th grade students, they put out a published piece of work, their memoirs. For the past 10 years, Mr. Apicella has worked with his colleagues to create this memoir. Each year with a different theme, but with a great deal of work. Students write, they edit, they write, they edit, they write, and they edit until they get published. Our child study team works closely with Mr. Apicella, and we're eager to share some words. He builds close relationships with his students. He is kind and gentle in his approach with his students. When graduates come back to visit, they always ask, "Can I see Mr. App?" On top of all this, he gets his IEPs done on time. Most important. Ms. Drumgold said that she has worked with him for 24 years, and she can recall watching him with his middle school students, hoping one day she could run a classroom like he did. With his students, he was able to maintain their attention, build trust, and teach. Students responded to him in a way that was quite endearing. At any given time, Mr. App's classroom would be filled with students, some of them not even his. Dr. Algai has said many of my students struggle with learning disabilities, focus, and most pervasively low academic self-esteem. Once they connect with their beloved Mr. App, they experience academic success, a sense of belonging, and growing confidence, perhaps for the first time in their school career. As always, I like to talk to the students, and here is what I heard. Mr. App is a great person and an amazing teacher. There have been countless times he has helped me through hard assignments, and life in general. Mr. App is a person who is always open to talk, open to help, and even open to just hang out with you. He has always had a positive attitude and does not hesitate to shake my hand in the morning or the afternoon. I have so much respect for him. By far, he has been the most helpful teacher to me that I have ever had and deserves this incredible award. While I have seen Mr. Apicella's work for the past few years, I wanted to reach out to a colleague who has spent much more time with him over his entire career. Ms. Kelly shared the following. Current trends in education move us into the information age of the latest technology. Educators are called to seek out or develop apps that students can use to foster, enhance, and measure education. The students in our community are fortunate because we have in our midst the best app we ever developed, one we lovingly refer to as Mr. App, William Apicella. Mr. App has been fostering the students in the Hoboken Public Schools for more than 30 years, with never-failing words of encouragement, the sincerity with which he listens to his students, an innate sense of warmth and humor. Mr. Apicella creates an atmosphere for learning that students enter willingly. In his classrooms, our students' education is further enhanced by skillfully designed lessons that motivate, engage students to learn with measurable success. It is fitting that we recognize and reward their measurable successes that Mr. Apicella is responsible for. You will not find a better app anywhere than our Teacher of the Year, Mr. App, William Apicella. Did we get them all? Did you get one, Reed? Okay, awesome. All right, thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite up Ms. Susan Weiner, Hoboken High School's Educational Specialist of the Year. Ms. Weiner is in her 6th year of service at Hoboken High School. She earned her Bachelor of Arts in English Literature from William Patterson University and then continued on at Seton Hall to earn her Master's in School Counseling. She was a teacher of English for 10 years at Passaic High School and then recognized that she wanted to serve children in a different capacity and applied to our open counseling position at Hoboken High School. I remember her interview, and I thought she was someone that could make a difference with our students. There were so many candidates at that time, but once we met her, our committee knew. Her confidence is what struck most of us in her interview. She is bold, she speaks her mind, but yet compassionate, and she's kind. When working with students, she is organized and knows exactly what each of her students need. Her knowledge of her students, both academically and socially, is to be commended. Ms. Weiner is currently our counselor for 10th and 12th grade students. But at the start of this year, Ms. Weiner was the counselor for all our students in grades 9 through 12, as she was covering for Ms. Gleason, who was out on maternity. I am not sure if anyone understands what the first weeks of school are like for a counselor, but it is a mountain of work. Ms. Weiner was there until all hours and was working on weekends. At home, ensuring that every student was properly scheduled and had exactly what they needed. She was steadfast and strong. She was steadfast and strong, and she did not want to reach out to Ms. Gleason, as she knew Ms. Gleason had her hands full at home. Once schedules were all completed, she began the college application process with her seniors. This is another job that requires 100% of your attention and time. You need to know each of your students, and you need to know and ensure you are providing them with the opportunities in areas that they expressed interest. There are college essays, there's the common application, there's early decision, financial aid, instant decision days, college information sessions, college visits, on-site instant decision days, field trips and scholarships, and much, much more. At this point, Ms. Weiner has had over 90% of our senior class applied to 2 to 4 year colleges and $12 million in institutional scholarship money earned, and there is still more to come. Keeping our hands in her language arts background, Ms. Weiner became the advisor for the literary magazine last year. Here is where students share poems, stories, artwork, and pizza. I saw that today, and pizza. And we publish a small piece of work that we share with our staff in our district. It requires motivating and encouraging, edit upon edit, but she loves the work she does, and whether 2 kids come or 15 kids come, she's sitting at that conference table working with students. Ms. Gleason, I want to reach out, of course, to her colleagues. Ms. Gleason shared, she is by far one of the most dedicated and hardworking counselors I have ever met, and her passion for helping others shines through in everything she does. Her work to our school community is invaluable, and she continues to make a meaningful impact on every student she encounters. Susan is not the only type of counselor you always hope you have, but also the type of coworker and friend that helps you strive to be better. Ms. Drumgold said she had me at hello. She fell in love with her at the interview, like us all. She was poised, articulate, and confident. She is a team player, a supportive colleague, and a trusting friend. Dr. A said you would be hard-pressed to find a harder worker or one with a better sense of humor. After all, who would keep a hot dog hat in the office to match her unforgettable last name? Whether before or after school, or even her lunch, she is tirelessly working with students. Students flood her office daily because they know they can count on her guidance in the most important decisions of their academic career. I can share many accolades from colleagues of Ms. Weiner, but again, I always like to get a student perspective. This comes from a current senior who will be graduating in June, Serena Roman. I have known Ms. Weiner for a few years, however, it feels like I've known her forever. She is not only an excellent counselor, but also a principled person who does anything in her power to ensure her students are on the road to success. She goes beyond the guidelines of what her job entails for the students of Hoboken High School, and for that, we are eternally grateful. Personally, Ms. Weiner has not only helped me earn acceptances and scholarships, but she has taught me major life lessons and the importance of words and how they can affect people. Without Ms. Weiner, I don't honestly know how I would have gotten through this extensive college search. This school year I have spent, and she capitalized in giant letters, countless hours in her office discussing my plans for the future and for the present. The Hoboken School District is very fortunate to have Ms. Weiner as part of their faculty because she is truly a counselor like no other. Ms. Weiner has planted inspirational seeds into the heads of many students in the Hoboken School District, and I can't wait to see the future you have helped shape for all of us. Ms. Weiner was very humble when she learned of her award. She said that she loves what she does, and her favorite thing about working with the students in the small and tight-knit community that exists among them, and the way in which our students keep it real. They are mostly without pretense and show their uniqueness, their grit, and their talent in a very authentic way. They continue to surprise and inspire me every day. Ms. Weiner, you continue to surprise and inspire us every day. Thank you for all you do, and congratulations. Okay. All right.
Well, thank you for your attention, and before we take the dais again, one large and your loudest clap for everyone that was honored here today, please. Thank you.
Well, congratulations to all. This is always one of my most favorite meetings. Tonight we celebrate our students, our incredible Teachers of the Year, and our educational services professionals. In addition, we celebrate our district being recognized as a high-performing district, a national school of distinction in STEM learning, And as I just got the latest, over $12 million in scholarships for our high school seniors. These recognitions and accomplishments go hand in hand. It is because of all of you that the Hoboken Public School District is accomplishing such great things. I couldn't be more proud. Congratulations to all, and thank you for all you do. Would any other board members like to say anything? Okay.
Oh, sure, I would like to just echo that, and congratulations to all of our teachers, all our support services today. I'm a mess. I've been crying the entire night. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be part of this district. I'm so proud to be part of this board. And thank you all for the amazing work you do every day for our students, and for my son. Thank you.
We're going to take a quick few-minute break, just in case anybody needs to leave before we get into the business part of the meeting. So we'll take a few minutes, and again, congratulations. Okay, we're going to get started again. Oh my God, we're going to move into committee reports. Mr. Bolden, do you have a business administrator's report tonight?
Yes, thank you. So last Thursday on March 7th, we had the senior audit partner from our auditing firm, Lurch, Finzi, Higgins, and the audit manager report to the finance committee. They called in and went in detail over the CAFR and the findings that are in the AMR, which is the smaller audit manager's report. It was a good, thorough report. We had slightly more revenues and expenditures for the year, was kind of the gist of the financial overview, and the budget versus actual schedule of the audit. The C section, C1, is in the CAFR if anyone wants to read it. I'm not going to go over the audit findings in detail particularly, although it, as a CPA, a school business administrator, and a former auditor, it is good that they do their work, and the fact that no one likes to get findings, of course, but the fact that they are finding some, a couple little things here and there, a couple internal control things, which we are addressing, setting up some reconciliations to ensure there was one particular person who wasn't enrolled in the pension. We're setting up monthly and quarterly reconciliation procedures. Overall, I think the auditors did a nice job, and that's all I have to say about the audit manager's report. And I'll pass it on to, who's next, the committee members?
Yeah, and just one thing to note is that while there were some minor findings, we did receive an unqualified opinion.
No, of course, right. As Ms. Angley points out, yes. There were, in the education industry, as many of our industries in this country, we're highly regulated. There are tons of laws and regulations, a lot of compliance issues. So there are many, 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 many things that could be found, and it was overall a good audit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I guess we'll go to curriculum and wellness. Ms. Delera.
Sure. The Curriculum and Wellness Committee met on March 7th. In attendance were myself, Ms. Angley, Ms. Evans, Ms. Khanna, and Superintendent Dr. Johnson. There are no action items on the March agenda. However, we discuss some upcoming district events. They're all open to the public. Connors is having their multicultural dinner on March 13th. The Hoboken Community Dinner will be hosted at the high school on March 21st. And Brand Multicultural Night will be hosted on March 22nd, and that would also be held at the Hoboken High School. And lastly, the Hoboken School District's Family Theater and Makerspace Day of STEAM, which will be held on March 23rd, and that will be at the high school as well. Some notable district accomplishments and student events. Again, congratulations to Brand, Calabro, Connors, and Wallace for earning their distinction of STEM learning for Project Launch Curriculum K through 5. Congratulations to Calabro, Connors, and Wallace for earning their distinction for STEM learning for Project Gateway curriculums, grades 6 through 8th. Our Model UN debate team received awards at the 2019 St. Peter's University Model UN competition. Our Harvard Model Congress team is headed to Madrid next week, Spain, and 35 biomedical science students are heading to Japan next month. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, facilities, Ms. Evans.
The Facilities Committee met on Thursday, March 7th. In attendance were myself, Ms. Angley, Ms. Catamartori, Ms. McGurk, and Superintendent Johnson. There are 6 facilities requests on the agenda, item 12.02. The committee reviewed all and recommends them all for approval tonight. We also discussed that the finishing touches are being put on the living classroom outside of this building. The windows and stairs are in, the last bricks are being laid, and the plumbing and electrical work is being finished. And the last step will be pouring the floor. And the committee also discussed enrollment for the upcoming school year. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Finance, Mr. Kirian.
Hi, good evening. The Finance Committee met on Thursday, March 7th at 7:30 p.m. In attendance were Dr. Johnson, Mr. Bolden, Ms. Angley, Mr. Delatorre, Ms. McGurk, and myself. The committee reviewed all agenda items and recommends all for board approval. Just to go through a few that were discussed in a little bit more detail. 10.05, approval of bills and claims, with approximately $3.25 million for March payments as usual. The largest dollar value bills and claims relate to charter, pre-K provider payments, as well as out-of-district special education placement and related transportation costs. Other bills related to normal business activity, including supplies, repairs and maintenance, passport to learning vendors, electricity, and others. 10.6 is the approval to cancel old outstanding checks drawn on the general checking account. Periodically, the business office will cancel outstanding uncashed checks that are over a year old. As you can see from the agenda, there are 9 canceled checks for a de minimis dollar amount. 10.07, approval of additional capital reserve transfer. These funds are being used for the costs associated with the living classroom and playground at the middle school, as well as an elevator repair. The living classroom has incurred a change order, but it is within the 10% of the original costs. 10.08 is the acknowledgement of receipt of the comprehensive annual financial report, CAFRA, and for financial year 2018, and approval of the financial year 2018 corrective action plan, CAP, for the Hoboken Board of Education. The committee met with the auditors to discuss the year-end audit, as Mr. Bolding has reported out on, and the district received an unqualified opinion, which means that the financial statements conform to generally acceptable accounting principles and have not hidden any important facts, so as expected. The committee also discussed the following: 2019 and 2020 budget planning that is underway. State aid, as many of you know, for Hoboken has decreased by $450,000 over last year's aid. This is consistent with expectations. Additionally, there was reduction in aid related to school choice. The school choice aid is being funded at 90% rather than 100% of the formula for all schools that receive school choice aid. So that's not targeted at Hoboken or specific school districts, but all that receive that aid. This is a reduction of approximately $200,000 in what's typically received. Mr. Bolden, Dr. Johnson, and the administration are putting final touches on the budget for 2019 and 2020 school year, which will be presented at the adoption of the tentative budget meeting on March 19th. So that's next Tuesday. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Governance, Ms. Khanna.
Yes, the Personnel and Governance Committee met on Thursday, March 7th at 6 p.m. In attendance were Ms. Angley, Ms. Catamartori, Dr. Johnson, and myself. The committee reviewed all agenda items 9.01 to 9.14 and recommends all for board approval. Under 9.07, we have 2 assemblies requested by Wallace 3rd grade. First is L'Oreal, who will present a mini career day to celebrate Women's History Month, and the second is the Structural Group Company, who will introduce to students the technology used in everyday construction and engineering. Under 9.13, we have a number of field trips that are taking place. In addition, our elementary and middle school are planning out their field trips funded by the HPEF for each grade level. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Board members, are there any questions or comments regarding committee reports? No? Okay, moving on to public comments on agenda items. Okay, then we will move to the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Ms. Khanna and Ms. McGurk. Is there any discussion or items that need to be pulled? No? Okay, please call roll.
Ms. Catamatori?
Yes.
Ms. Delara?
Yes.
Mr. Delatorre?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Khanna?
Yes.
Mr. Kupfel?
I'm going to abstain on 10.04 and vote yes on the rest.
10. Got it. Ms. McGurk?
Yes.
Ms. Takirian?
Yes.
Ms. Angley?
Yes.
Okay. Consent agenda passes.
Okay, public comments on agenda and non-agenda items. Is there-
There are no public speakers signed up.
Okay, well, that concludes our meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.